I can't go to a show looking like this. Now we're talking.
Alright, so I saw a product today, and this time, I usually say I saw it today, but this time it actually was today. Product, it was an energy drink called Liquid Ice. Liquid Ice. That's fucking water. How much energy am I going to get from fucking water? And I saw a product called, company called Just Tomatoes, Etc. Well, which is it? Just Tomatoes or Tomatoes, Etc.? And I was in the checkout aisle looking at some of the flavors for Wrigley's gum, those new Wrigley's flavors, and I don't know who's coming up with the new flavors, but one of them was cobalt. Who is eating a piece of metal and said, this would make a really nice chewing gum flavor? And some of the other flavors were like rain, elixir. They don't even say what's in the elixir, just the elixir by itself. I guess it tastes like glass. Prism, which also tastes like glass. Flame. Who ate a flame to figure out what that tastes like? And the strangest one of all, vortex. Who ate a vortex? How do you eat a vortex? Why do you eat a vortex? I'd like to eat a vortex, because I want to know what one tastes like now. Here's an interesting question. How come every time I see a picture of Noah's Ark, the giraffes are looking out the window? Like, literally every picture of Noah's Ark I've ever seen, the giraffes have a window seat. Is this in the Bible somewhere? Did I miss this passage? You know, and the Lord said, Noah, build an ark and make sure the giraffes get a window seat. Because they need to smile for the children's books. Never see the giraffe, or never see the kangaroos, never see the badgers, never see the marmosets, never see the aardvarks. You always see giraffes. I don't read the Bible. The reason I don't read the Bible is because I don't trust any story that is ever told to me by a fisherman. Think about it, the Bible was written by fishermen. They make shit up. I'm telling you, this fish was so big that Jonah lived inside of it for 3 days. That is a fish story. But, yes, some of you are thinking that over. Some of you are thinking that over. Some of you have to remember who the fuck Jonah is. Let's face it, there are only like 5 stories in the Bible that anybody even remembers. Like Adam and Eve, Noah, Moses, Jesus, and David and Goliath, and that's it. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Isaiah. Nobody knows who the fuck Ruth is. That's why I'm convinced that nobody reads the Bible. They just read the children's books and watch the cartoons, and then remember that. And then they think. Then they hold the Bible in front of them, move their eyes back and forth, don't read the words and say, ah, and then they picture the cartoons. That is my hypothesis. I have yet to prove it. But religious people, though. Religious people do something odd that I've noticed, and they will never admit to this, but every religion does this. They keep score. Some of you might need an explanation for that. Religious people are keeping score of how many people convert. They don't care how many people were born into it, because that's kind of a freebie. But the people who convert, they act like their team just scored a goal. It's like, I think I'm going to start going to church. Ooh, which one? Which one? Come on, Catholic. Come on, Catholic. You're going to go to a Lutheran church. Oh, fuck. Missed it. All Lutherans are in the stands going, in your face, Catholics. They do that. They do that. Not out loud, but they're thinking it. They are thinking it. Like, and every religion tries to cheat. They all cheat. They all try to pad their numbers. Like the Catholics. I love picking on the Catholics because they're so much fun. But the Catholics pad their numbers. You ask how many Catholics there are in the world, they will not tell you. They will tell you how many people were baptized. They don't tell you how many people show up at church every Sunday. They will tell you how many people in the world got baptized. That's a slightly higher number. You ask a Jewish person, how many Jews are there in the world? They won't tell you. They'll tell you how many people had Jewish parents. That's a slightly higher number. You ask a Scientologist, how many Scientologists are there in the world? They have a great way of padding their numbers. Anybody who shows up for a meeting, even once, and I read this on the internet, so it must be true. If you show up at a meeting once, they consider you a Scientologist for the next 10 billion years. You can unsubscribe after 10 billion years. That means that the sun can burn out before you can stop being a member of the Church of Scientology. And that means that, and they don't even have to tell you it's a Scientology meeting. They can just say, hey, come on in here. You step in the room, fuck, guess what? You're a Scientologist now. That means that if you walked into that room by accident in a past life, they still consider you a Scientologist. Atheists. You wouldn't think atheists would do religious shit like this, but atheists do this too. They pad their numbers worse than anybody. You ask how many atheists there are, they will count how many people are atheists. They will count the agnostics. They will count deists. They will count non-denominational. They will count people who believe in something but aren't really practicing. They will count vague theists. Those are the people who say, I believe there's something. I call them vague theists. What do you believe in? Oh, I believe there's something. They will count everybody. You ever try to tell an atheist that you're not an atheist? They argue with you. I'm more of an agnostic. Well, you're a weak atheist. No, I'm a fucking agnostic. But, and you know who else pads their numbers? The pagans. Oh yeah, the pagans pad their numbers. But they do it differently. They do it differently. They don't count just anybody. They count celebrities. Because, remember I said somebody converts to your religion, you gain a point? If it's a celebrity, you get about 50 points. That's how the scoring works. It's like, you could say, there are 1,000 Protestants in the room, and Scientologists be like, yeah, is any of them named Tom Cruise? We're still winning. But pagans go for celebrities right away. They will go for any rumor they heard. Yeah, I saw on the internet that Stevie Nicks is a Wiccan. Well, she said in the interview that that's not true. That was just a rumor. Yeah, well, who are you going to believe, her or the internet? You got to believe the internet. The internet never lies. Yeah, so I am a pagan, by the way, in case you didn't notice. Yeah, thank you. Yes, and one of the first things, whenever people hear that I'm a Wiccan, one of the first things they ask is if I play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know how that connection gets made. Bless you. I don't know how that connection gets made. I actually asked one person, why did you ask me if I played Dungeons and Dragons? And the guy said to me, he said, well, I figured you played it because it has wizards in it. That's like walking up to a Roman Catholic and saying, hey, do you ever play chess? I figured you played chess because it has bishops in it. Thank you very much, that's my time. Blessed be you, motherfuckers.
Let's hear it for Shawn Ravenfire. He was talking about Stevie Nicks rumors. I have a favorite Stevie Nicks rumor. Some of you may have heard it. Stevie Nicks supposedly during the 70s, surprise, surprise, destroyed the inside of her nose with cocaine to the point where she had to have an assistant blow it up her ass with a straw. We are all lightweights compared to Stevie Nicks, guys. And frankly, that's good because I don't necessarily want anybody near my butt with a straw.